Hello and welcome back. This is the beginning of day 5 in sort of our Factorio Pyanodons mod. Not much really to show off at the beginning here, other than the fact that I've decided, since the last stream, that I'm going to move where I'm actually going to start the bus. So we're just going to clean this up quickly. I do know how to do a bus. I suppose I can actually just do a quick copy paste to this for blueprint. But yeah. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be effectively the beginning of the highlights stream, or highlights recording. It's probably going to be multi-day because it depends on how many sort of things we get done. But today we finished up sort of the initial expansion from metal at the end of last stream. I want to get some copper going and get the bus going, and then we're going to start working through the to-do list. Apparently need to check the aluminum again, but we got the bus, we got the belts. The bus sort of is going to stay here until I've got the bus sort of done. But we've got all these things that need to get added to the bus. Basically added to the bowl bus. Or the mall, bus ball, or whatever you want to describe the bus as. It's not going to be ratioed. Most of the stuff on the bus is not going to be ratioed. Yeah. At this point, we'll have the jump cut to the next thing that's done if you're watching on YouTube. And assemble. So that's half a belt of copper for our bus. I just need to get the belt completed, so it's actually getting back to the bus, and then we start building up the bus. Although I suppose this is a good point. I'll get in a good place where I can see it all, and then I'll leave myself an audio cue. Okay, so future editor me succeeds in doing the editing here. This is going to go in the highlights video. This is the new copper source, providing about a half a belt of copper plate. There are better ways to do this. There's probably even better ways to do this in electrical power. But that requires sorting, copper ore sorting. Right now, this works really, really well for not having to belt coal over here to run either the drills or the foundries, or any gases or whatever to use gas foundries. For example, I don't actually have gas foundries. That's the second thing in the queue at the moment. Yeah, this will solve our immediate needs for getting the bus up and coming. And if you're watching on YouTube, the next bit in the highlight should be the first bit of the bus. So catch you in a moment. And with that, I think it's time to do a break. So the future editor me has successfully done the highlight splice. Welcome back, YouTube, for the highlight stream, or highlight portion of the run. As you can see here on the bus, I now have belts being produced and underground belts, because those kind of go together. Which of course required me making gears, iron sticks, copper cabling. Okay, technically out of order, I got bolts after small parts, but I've done a little bit of a fancy trick here to get them sort of wired, plumbed together so it works. Really, those should be the other way around, but we've got all the sort of supporting stuff there. So, for once, my to-do list shrinks. Bus belts, done. And if you're watching on YouTube, the next bit in the highlight will probably be when we have inserters done, which hopefully won't take as long as belts. Okay, so future editor me, hopefully we'll catch that at this point. We now get to check another one off on the to-do list. I didn't realize that it was so easy to insert together when I ran back to base to get a bunch of stuff. But off the list comes bus inserters. Basic mechanical inserters for the moment are now done. And I suppose if future editor me does a good job of his splicing, once more we're on the highlight reel for YouTube. Once more, we got the burner assemblies, and of course I had to build, those of you who know what goes into burner assemblies realize I need to do some air-cooled conductors. So we've got that in there. I even got the future-proof one in, designed in, so when I have electronic facilities and ceramics, we're going to build out this portion, effectively disassemble the bottom portion here. But the bottom portion here does the air-cooled ceramics, air-cooled injection, sorry, enough that we can do the burner assembly machine. And then when we have ceramics, then we can do the upper portion, disassemble the bottom portion, and this will basically double the amount that we make for the same amount of copper. So that's why I want to use the better recipe eventually, but for the moment this works. Yeah, that's another one on the to-do list. Bus assemblers. Done. And I guess we're going to probably have another time jump here while I go into setting up miners. So we're going to get into doing multiple things at once, right? So miners is also going to be furnaces, I think, go into miners. The basic stone furnaces. At this point, I'm not going to use them again. But they're involved in a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're watching on YouTube, here comes another jump cut. If you're watching on Twitch, hang around. We're gonna keep recipeing stuff. So boilers in the future, more of those in the future. So we've got that going. I think it's time for future editor me once again to bring up the highlights. So since the last highlight bit, I've gone ahead and I've added in stone furnace making. Also set up a little bit of electric mining drill. That's to make stone. I'll go do a review of that in a moment. I just realized I didn't do that for highlights. Highlight of that. We got boilers going and burner mining drills going. So with that, we're going to do the next check on the checklist. So we're down to 45 things left on the to-do list. If you're watching YouTube, I'll be back once we're at the stone mine. Okay, and at this point, future editor me should hopefully have brought us back in here. Basically, very short build review. This is how I'm mining new stone for the new bus. 8 mining drills, in theory, provides 1 belt of stone and 1 belt of keratin. Don't yet have a use for the keratin. It's going to go into, I think it's oil sands recovery. There's a processing for it into fuel. We haven't done that yet, and as a solid fuel, it's a really terrible solid fuel. But got the stone off, and I've got a fairly large buffer in here, so that we can make use of that stone. And we'll be back with the next highlight, which will probably be something along the lines of setting up the product of setting up the bus for soil extraction or wood processor next. 5, even better. We're gonna add 24 more steam engines to set up. I suppose this is a good place as any to put for editor me to bring YouTube back in, the highlights. So since the last bit of the highlights, I have done a sort of stretch goal and done 2 tasks. Gone ahead and got the soil extractor added to the bus. Went ahead and added the steam engine, because the steam engine is required for wood processing, and I've basically got everything set up for the wood processing, including some extra copper cables. I need more copper cables, with the exception of logs, which I've placed a wooden buffer chest in here so that I can deposit my character's inventory of logs, because we generate them for chopping forests down, which will be the place where the logs are coming from for a short period of time. I think this is the main thing that consumes logs, if I were to check the recipe. But the main thing that consumes logs straight, I mean. Yeah, as far as construction, we got wood processing and we got small electric poles. Eventually, we're going to want to make small electric poles by the alternative recipe, which is treated wood. So yeah, as far as the buffer chest, that works until I can set up proper renewable log production. But yeah, that's the build review. That's where we've gotten. This I think how I'm going to do the editing. So this is a little side for YouTube. Is going for the next couple stream days. I'm just going to merge them all into one highlight video. So this is probably the last highlight portion from this stream day, which is the 5th day for watching this on the highlight video. If you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm gonna continue to do a little bit before I bring the stream to a close, but I'm gonna try to finish up the stream around 2 a.m. I don't think I'm gonna get around to another highlight by then. So with that, if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a jump cut. If you're watching this on Twitch, feel free to hang around. And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Factorio. If you're watching this in the highlight stream, this is going to be the beginning of a new day. We're down to 44 tasks. We're going to try to work through the list here. Destructive dissolution is next. And that's where we're going to be doing the jump cut if you're watching this on Twitch or in the unedited version. Okay, in future editor me does his job. It's once again a time for a little bit of a build review. You may recognize this area as the old original stone mine. I've now gone ahead and upgraded it to electric mining for the stone and Keratin, and then did sort of minimal refitting of the old bus area just to keep it working. Apparently going to have to unjam it already because I've already got jammed back up with Keratin. And then that is feeding effectively enough furnaces to convert 2 belts of stone into 1 belt of stone brick, assuming the old base doesn't need it. And so this is one of the rebuilds. One thing I'm going to have to do is apparently swap the state on some of this stuff to get it packing instead of unpacking the Keratin because I'm making too much of it. Excuse me while I'm trying to fix my build that I've just built. Only just built it, it's already broken. Okay, future editor me once again does his editing. We're going to do a bit of a small build review here. Got a little bit of iron ore mining, and this is to support steel production for the bus. This is still barely any steel production in the grand scheme of things. This is, if we come out and do the math, I did the math earlier, it's this math. We're only making 3/4 of a plate of steel every second, so it's still pretty small steel production. This is a functional steel production that is being bussed up to the belt. So if you're watching the highlight video, there's going to be a jump cut here, and then we're going to be up reviewing why I made the steel and just a little bit before the stone production, or the brick production, for some of the machines we're working on. Okay, and editor me should be, hopefully in the future, prepping this part for the highlights video. Since the last highlight where we're looking at the bus, I've added 4 more machines, making four new different types of things. We've got destructive distillation columns being made here, which, okay, didn't really necessarily require anything new that we didn't already have on the bus. Pipes and steam engines and stuff is fairly easy. So we can take that off of checklist. So destructive distillation, check. We've done high pressure furnaces, which is one of the things. This is one of the reasons we need the stone brick. So this is now taking the stone brick as it arrives to make the high pressure furnaces. We even have 4 of them done already. So once again, we take that off checklist. Advanced foundry. We've been handcrafting these up until this point. So this will be nice to just be able to go grab some instead of having to handcraft them. Again, another thing that required stone brick. So we can check that off the to-do list. And solid separators, which was the thing we needed the steel for. So these aren't going to be building very fast. They do require 50 steel plate, and we're making less than 1 a second. And in theory, I've only got it set to feed half the steel plate in here, so we're going to make one of these like every 2 minutes. But that doesn't mean now that I don't need to handcraft every one of these as well. So that's the status quo on the highlights for the moment. 4 things done on the checklist. I still have a to-do list of 40 items, although the top 2 is basically check the fluid drills. We haven't quite... The fluid drills are hand plumbed at the moment, or hand operated, so I have to go get the contents from them. They don't go to base. And that's sort of just a check the base sort of thing, right? So that also sort of plays for science and circuit boards. And then make the bus. that's going to be a to-do item that's just always going to be on the to-do list, is remember to keep expanding the bus. But 38 of these items are various different machines that I want being made on the bus to go. All the way down to gas furnaces, secondary crushers, and stuff like that. Real nice. Okay. So with 4 done, hopefully future editor me successfully edits this bit into the video. But with here, we're going ahead and we just got 4 more of our to-do list done. We got washers added to the bus. I'll have to go double check to make sure the brick maker is working. It's probably backed up on Carrigen again, but washer done. Same thing with the fluid mining drill. Done. Bristol mine. And done. And glassworks. Added to, as I keep pushing the wrong button, added to done portion of the to-do list. To-do list is down to effectively 34 other items I need to get done on the bus, so that we can be rapidly expanding bits of the base when I need them expanded. Right. Okay, so if future editor me goes ahead and catches us up again, we're doing a highlight for the YouTube video, a highlight video. We've gone ahead and added the moss farm to the bus. Going to be a slight delay in building more of the bus out because I've run out of electric circuit boards, so I can't do any more splitters until I sort that out. And I need to do a little bit of improving of the electrical system. The electrical system's in a bit of a brownout state. We're far enough away from the grid you can't really see it, but some things are not working quite right because there's not enough steam being produced. But yeah, so moss farms. Let's check that off the to-do list. Another, if you exclude the bus and check fluid drills, another 33 items to go. Probably another jump cut for YouTube. How many fish do I have? 20. Could probably get a couple of those multi-blade fish turbines going. And just handcrafted the first multi-blade fish turbine at 40 hours and 25 minutes. Could have done that a lot earlier if I was trying to. Let's... Okay, assuming future editor me does the proper chopping up for the highlight stream, this is going to be one of the bits of a highlight. Once more, I've gone ahead and automated 3 more machines, so checking off the checklist. Got fastwood forestry being made, jaw crushers being made, and clay pits being made. I'm gonna still continue to hunt the botanical nursery. I think I'm gonna hunt the botanical nursery. Yeah, because I don't want to do the planter box right now. That was a good point. Good point for editor me to bring the highlight crew in. If you're watching this on the highlighted video for YouTube, where I do the highlights for the streams. Let's go over the completed items of the thing. So I've done an electrofactory. Check that off the checklist. Slightly out of order, I did a PCB factory. I assume this was the second electronics factory, so I edited the bus electronics bus PCB, so that's been done. I did tar processing, so that's also done. And the gasifier. These are going slow because at this point we're taking the half of 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 the half way too many times of small parts. At some point I'm going to have a lot more small parts on here. But it's queued up. It's going glacially, but gasifier is being done. I'd already decided to postpone quenching and botanical nursery again. What to do next? I think probably try to bring up... Do I have what I need to do the retorter? Probably have what I need to do the retorter. Laser check. Retorter. Yeah, I should be able to do retorters. I'll build mechanical inserters again. It'll be easier to do this end. Former won't be... Another former will be a little annoying, because those got circuit boards in them. The retorter is not that bad. And the retorter is the one... Retorter is the one that I make the Kerrigan into shale oil with. I might hold off on doing stuff with the shale oil other than burning it, because that will require reformers, and the reformers require simple circuit boards. But at least having some fuel oil that I'm not worried about burning is a good start. And as a way to use the Kerrigan up. But yeah, let's move the retorter up in the plan. So, if you're watching on YouTube and the highlights, we'll be back after jump cut to the retorter probably being designed. Okay. So, Future Edit Me has decided to edit this correctly. Once more, this is going to be in the YouTube highlights. We've done a little bit of work. I've gone ahead and added in the pressure pump Mark 1, the very minimalist engine into pump, into quenching tower, which eventually go into evaporator, will probably be the one that goes after that. Check those off the list. Technically, these are all running, although engine units are running really, really slow at this point, and pump is running really, really slow, because we just don't have enough small parts at this point to make everything work at any appreciable rate this far down the bus. I think that's what we're basically going to kind of working on next stream, early next stream. Check what we just finished off here. So we've finished up pressure pumps, and we've got the quenching tower, although it's not really working at the moment because that needs concrete sorted out. Early next stream, I'm going to actually add a new task. We're going to make concrete and reinforced concrete. Because that's kind of what we need for what I want to get done at early stream. So we want to basically get that concrete going so we can get the quenching tower going. That we can do the evaporator, so quenching tower, evaporator, and then I would like to get the gas furnaces going, which is reinforced concrete. With that, I can transition from our current electric ones over to gas powered. So we'll probably run most of stuff off of shale, so I can go through all the Kerrigan as sort of a productive way to use liquid fuel. And if I can get to the power grid, so we're going to be walking here for a bit to get to the power grid, I can get a guesstimate of how much power that might be saving us. I think it's going to be saving us quite a bit. Jap3Z is saying thanks for the stream. Thanks for watching the stream. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch. The plan is to upload the... Well, it's being streamed live to Twitch, which stays up for 14 days. There's a plan to upload the unedited stream to YouTube. An unedited 5x speed, basically sped up version of the stream to YouTube, and then the highlights of what we got done during the stream to YouTube. That'll be uploaded and released when ready, because editing takes time. Yeah, so right now I'm spending 123 megawatts on Mark 1 Advanced Foundries. We can reduce a lot of that going forward by swapping over to gas furnaces. So that's what we're going to be doing early next stream, is I'm going to be building out concrete and reinforced concrete, so I can swap from advanced foundries to gas foundries. So advanced foundries are about the equivalent of a single stone furnace, at the benefit of you use power instead of fuel. They're very power intensive though. 1.2 megawatts versus 20 on the stone furnace, so you're running about 6 times the power consumption to not have to port around the coal. The gas furnaces, on the other hand, are very fuel efficient. I think they consume more fuel, but they got 4 times the crafting speed. So it's the sort of thing like, yeah, we're looking at 20 max consumption versus 6 megawatts, so they're actually going to consume 30 times more fuel, but do it 4 times faster. So you do the math. Stone furnace is probably still more efficient if your concern is how much fuel the stone furnace is probably the best way to go. But that's going to be like 1.5. So this is still going to be cheaper than the in power terms. Actually, no, it'll still be a little more expensive than this in power terms than the advanced foundries, but it's going to be in fuel. And there's ways you can increase fuel fairly easily. Like we're going to make shale oil, and that's ways to get around instead of just having piles and piles of ash. Although we're apparently not having piles and piles of ash here at the moment. But yeah, we'll probably swap over to that. It's also 4-to-1, so instead of having a collection of 80 advanced furnaces to make a thing work, I can reduce it to 20. In effect, the ratio might work out a little bit better than I can reduce it even more than that. Although I suspect we're going to get insert limited at that point. Right now we're on this ratio, so we'd swap from here to gas furnace. It's saying 18 to do the same sort of work. 30 to 18. So 75 to 18. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be inserter limited, so it'll be a little bit more than that just because we can't work the inserters on that. But yeah, we'll try doing that early next stream. Hope everyone has been enjoying. If you've got any comments you want responded to, and you're watching live on Twitch, now's the time to leave them. I'll try to respond to comments before I bring the stream down. If you're watching later on the YouTube video, whether it's the highlight video or the regular unedited video, feel free to leave comments. I will try to respond to all of them. And with that, I'm going to go and, well, actually, let me go over the schedule for the next couple days. I'll delay the Twitch ad because we're bringing the stream to a close. So the schedule today is, the schedule for the next couple of days is today was Factorio. Tomorrow I'm going to do Solar Nations 2. I think I'm going to try to play as the communists on Mars. We're going to play a red Mars in Solar Nations 2. Tuesday, we're going to be doing Solar Expanse. If you're watching this live on Twitch, I have a poll up on the subreddit for Solar Expanse. If you want to have a vote for which house rules to use, go over there and vote for on that. I think it's still going to be up for about one more day. Right now, I think it's also tied. So your vote may very much be the tie-breaking vote in determining which one wins. But we'll have Solar Expanse on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll be back to Songs of Six, as we're going to try to get to Astra as hopefully being a little more tyrannical than we're being, although we're not being non-tyrannical. The tyranny is helping with our loyalty there. And then Thursday, we'll be back on Factorio. Hoping by Thursday I'll have the edited highlight version of the stream, and which I think this will be the outro, the edited highlighted version of the stream of the previous one and this one sort of combined together. But we'll see. We'll see how quickly I can get that edited and uploaded. So with that, I'm going to give the outro to the YouTube video, and thanks everyone for commenting. Team RB is saying thanks for the stream. Thank you for watching the stream, and yeah, hope you have a great evening, a great morning wherever you are. It's 3 coming up 4 a.m. in the morning here, so it's time for me to head to bed. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.